nicest people, our deals are number one. You'll love Dave's, Minnesota and Pet City. We make shopping for your pet fun, 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 fun.
We're filming. See the mouth on that thing?
Look at that. It's almost as big as Sandy's.
Well, hello. Oh, but the camera's rolling.
I just popped out of there.
Oh.
Sorry, Sandy. Love you.
Yeah, well, folks, this will probably be the last time you'll see Matt.
I'm going to be at the bottom of that pond for that one.
Anyway, welcome to Dave's Pet Show.
Hey there.
And so we're back from the museum. That was fun at the museum. Yeah, Springfield Museum. Did you see? You didn't see it, did you?
I did not see that.
You don't watch the show, do you?
I do.
Oh, we filmed 2 weeks in a row at the Science Museum.
And I fell asleep during those episodes. It was a long day, and I slept.
You know, that's the kind of person you are. If you're not in it, then you just
I
fall
know.
asleep.
That's it.
So anyway, you're all excited as
I am
usual
excited.
because it's pond season
We are
already.
coming into pond season now. It was a pretty mild winter,
Yes.
so a lot of people are now coming in asking, can we start putting out the fish? Can we start setting up?
Yep.
Well, you know, where temperature is up there, it's staying up routine. So
Yep.
by the time this airs, and within the next 2 weeks, you can start feeding your fish again.
So explain that to me.
Okay, fish
I'll hold
right
it.
now, because it's been cold during the winter, fish, as you know, are cold-blooded.
Yes.
So their blood temperature goes down. When their temperature is cold, their metabolism slows way down.
Yeah.
And so when the metabolism slows down, their digestion is very slow. As it warms up, so you don't feed them at all during the winter, because if they eat, it just sits there and rots and doesn't do them
Can
any
it kill
good.
them?
It can kill them, yes, that can actually kill them.
Okay.
As the temperature warms up, their metabolism is slowly going to start coming back into play.
Yep.
You want to feed them something between 40 and 60 degrees temperature, water temperature. You want to feed them something that's going to be a little easier and quicker to digest. And this is the spring and fall diet. It's a very, very light food. It can start getting them into the transition of getting everything
Yep.
running again. And once you go up to 60 degrees, above 60, you transition
In
over
water,
to
water,
water
not
temperature.
outside
Right.
temperature.
Now, it
water.
could be right. It could be a fluke 80-degree day in
Yeah, yeah.
mid-March,
Right.
and the fish are zooming around.
Yeah.
They're going by the barometric pressure in the sunlight. The water could still be down at 45 degrees, which if you want to throw a whole handful of in, they're going to come up and eat it.
And it's not
but
good
their-
for 'em.
Right, their blood temperature hasn't slowly acclimated up.
Yep.
So it's a slow process to get them
Yep.
feeding again.
Okay.
So between, usually from pretty much most of all of March and a good chunk of April, you stay on the spring and fall diet. Once you start getting steady 60-degree and above temperature on your
In the
koi
water.
pond, in the water,
Right.
you can go up to your normal growth food, your normal maintenance food. You
Yep.
can get them feeding. These fish are kept indoors all year, so they're always at
They're always.
75 degrees, so they're always going to be staying on this
Yep.
right here.
We don't have a heater in here, though.
There's no heater. It's ambient temperature. We're about 72 degrees in this building, which
Yeah.
is ideal.
We got to
for them.
lower that.
Yeah, I know. We want to get nice and get down to 50.
Yeah.
Nice and cool. Now,
Yes, sir.
in the spring, what a lot of people always come in, this is every time my fish are beating each other up, and it always happens in the spring. What happens is,
Mating?
exactly, when the temperature of the water climbs up, that's their signal, nature's signal telling them it's time to reproduce. So what's happening is
Do the males butt heads and
males
stuff?
are butting heads, and they're also they're using their head to butt the female to get her to lay the eggs so he can fertilize them. So what you're looking at is you might see one fish being chased, hot pursuit by 3 or 4 other fish. Those are all the males going after your
The
females.
female.
Right, and they're laying eggs. They're actually spawning. Usually by the fall, you'll start noticing little fish in your pond when that happens. You'll start seeing little brown fish that showed up out of nowhere, but those are the offspring.
So all kidding
All kidding
aside, so with fish, is it the same as like with many mammals that the dominant male fish is the one that gets to fertilize the egg?
Pretty
Because
much.
the eggs are out. It's not.
Eggs are out. These fish, pretty much, it's a free-for-all. I mean, there are
Yeah.
a lot of species that do that, a lot
Yeah.
of courting. Pretty much with goldfish and koi, there's a
every-
nice
free.
plump female. It's a free for all. Whoever is, you can have 3 or 4
Yeah.
males behind one female. She's
Yep.
just releasing eggs.
So she's
and
they're
yeah,
doing
it's-
their
they're doing
okay.
their business. They're doing
Okay.
their business. They're breeding machines. These
Yep.
guys are actually breeding machines. There are other pond fish that we sell. The rosy red minnows, which actually the males will build a nest and they'll actually chase the female into like a little cave.
Really?
And he'll actually, he'll mate, he'll chase the female out, and he'll guard the eggs himself. So a lot of people, we have a little fish
Wow.
like that over there, that little bag of fish that I brought in this morning.
Yeah.
They're often sold as feeders, but full-sized. They make a fascinating aquarium fish and a neat pond fish because they are so interesting to
Oh,
watch
yeah,
them build
that is-
little nests.
Yeah.
It's something in the pond. If you have little caves, you can see like 1 or 2 little males by each little cave and a whole school
Right.
of females.
So
Males are the
these
ones guarding the nest.
these giant guys. So can you buy fish now?
You can start, I would actually, let it warm up a little bit. You can buy
Yeah.
fish all year round, but I would still house them for the next couple of weeks inside in a tank
Yeah.
inside. But by the time this airs, you can probably start acclimating slowly.
Yep.
Most importantly, it's time to really start maintaining and opening the pond. Over the winter, you're going to get a lot of, stuff from trees, dead leaves, debris, that wind, we had a
Yeah,
little
yeah, oh,
windy,
yeah,
all
yeah.
the stuff gets blown in the pond.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff just starts breaking down, turning into a sludge.
Yeah.
This, when you open your pond in the spring, fine net, scoop any heavy debris out.
Yep.
You're going to add this. This is a bacterial. This is actually a form of bacteria that actually helps break down all that stuff.
Yep.
Sort of like a sewage treatment plant in that same
You
method.
know what? All kidding aside,
Mhm.
this is exactly what the sewage.
Exactly.
It's
You're
this. It's this product.
This
I-
product, exactly. That's a
Right.
microbial bacteria that
Right.
actually eats the heavy decomposition
Yep.
and waste in your pond.
Yep.
So in this, you remove all your waste, you add that into your pond. You can add it. A lot of times water will have evaporated down. You can do a partial water change, top off your pond, make sure that your filter is not plugged up with
Yeah.
debris,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
that running up and going. And then
Hey,
as
I
the temperature
have a
warms up,
stupid question.
Sure,
that
I'll give you a stupid answer.
Well, I don't know. Could you use this like if your sink is plugged up or
it would probably take a long time to unplug your sink
Right.
because it's a bacteria and
Right.
it's going to slowly break down stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't see why not if you
'Cause and
regular
it's not
adding
harmful.
It.
That's
Not
the other
harmful,
thing.
right. You could add it into your
Yeah.
sink on a regular basis just to help break down sludge in your pipe. I don't see why not.
all right? Let's
see
get
why
back
not.
to the subject. Focus, Matt. Focus.
Okay, I'm focusing.
Okay.
Pour it down the toilet, see what happens.
Okay.
There you go. Huh.
Well,
Yeah, you could. I mean, yeah, it's bacteria. But anyway,
Right.
we're focusing.
focus. Okay. So what else? What is it? What do you have? Oh my God!
A lot of pond salt.
I
Pond
should
salt.
say.
Okay, when you are pumping new fresh water back in, after you've done that, pond salt is always great to add electrolyte into the water. What electrolyte and trace elements are, that's like the vitamins and minerals that when the water's been sitting
Can't you
all
just
winter.
pour Gatorade in there or something?
I don't think the fish would like that,
Alright.
but the water will go green
Right.
too. But anyway, this right here, when the water's been sitting all winter, it's pretty much stagnant. You haven't
Yeah.
had much circulation. You got a lot of sludge.
Yep.
This helps add electrolyte, which helps the fish breathe.
Yep.
Helps water be absorbed, oxygen being absorbed through their gills a lot easier. Also puts all those minerals. Fish, like anything, need vitamins and minerals.
Yep.
The filter pulls a lot
In
of that
salt.
out. Right, it's in salt. It's actually not kitchen salt. You don't want to put
Yeah.
but yeah, this is actually a pond salt. This also helps reduce parasites because the parasites are very irritated by any form of salt.
And nothing worse than an angry parasite.
Right? They get ticked
They
off.
get
can't-
irritated.
They
Yeah.
get irritated. You want to irritate,
Yeah.
and that actually
Yeah.
keeps them off your fish.
Yep.
It actually, when you're putting all those electrolytes in, that actually spurs them on to breed as well too.
Really?
Yep. It's actually helps everything. It's an all-around vitamin for these fish. So it is definitely a good thing to put in.
How much do you put in for like a handful? Is it-
Pretty much depends on the size of your pond. Usually it's a
Would you
cup-
put 'em- Would you put it in if you have?
Absolutely. Yep. In an aquarium. Yep.
Yeah.
All these tanks have a little bit of salt in them.
Yep.
Any freshwater aquarium, salt water is a little different salt.
So this is
That's
basically
sea salt.
kosher. Is this just
Pretty much
kosher
it's
salt?
a form of kosher salt,
Yeah.
but there's a little bit more different elements.
it's
that have been
bigger,
added.
much bigger,
Much
uh,
bigger, because you have much more you've got so
Yeah.
much more water to deal with.
Yeah.
But yes, it is pretty much the same as kosher salt or even the
Yeah.
aquarium salt we
So
use in
all,
fish tanks.
all these fish that you have back here can all go in a pond.
Yep, these
everything.
8 tanks, all these 8 tanks, and a few
Yeah.
in that 9th tank. These are all
Yeah.
pond fish down here.
Yep.
As you can see, we have the koi,
Yep.
which as you can see grow. to
Koi's the one with
huge-
no whiskers.
Koi have whiskers. Koi
I
have the
was
whiskers.
checking to
I
see
know,
if you remembered.
Paying attention, yes.
It's been a long time
Yep.
since last year.
And then comets,
Okay.
comets don't have the whiskers.
Yes.
Color pattern, there are all different types of color pattern
Yes.
on goldfish. Canaries, which are the yellow.
Yep.
Shabunkins, which are the calico guys.
Yep.
And then the Sarasa red and white, which is red and white. And then we have all these different fantails.
Lion heads
lion
and
heads, bubble
Now
eyes.
these are goldfish.
These are goldfish,
They
yes.
do not have whiskers.
They do not have whiskers.
Koi have whiskers.
Koi have whiskers. Kois
There's
have
going to be a
whiskers.
quiz on this Wednesday.
Yes. Whiskers. Okay, but yeah, you can see this is a weird one.
And how much are these guys?
These guys are $12.99 each.
And they will grow into,
big guys like that. They will
right.
They will all get
which
quite
are
big.
hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds of dollars. Correct. Correct.
How long will it take for these guys to grow to those guys?
Well, as long as your pond is clean,
Yeah.
your water is maintained.
Yep.
Those huge koi that are in there are about 2.5 years old.
That's it?
That's it. That's it. So if you give them
Oh.
space, you give them food, you give them
Okay.
clean water, they're going to grow.
Well, don't go away, folks. We'll be right back. Chris and I are going to talk about the early lawn stuff. We're going to mow you over
Mow that one
with,
over.
mow you down, something,
Like that.
whatever. Don't go away.
I'm hiding in the greenhouse.
Well, hello everybody, and we're back. And Miss Chris is with us. And folks, if you didn't come by our Agawam store last year to buy plants from Chris, you missed a very, very big deal. We sold a gazillion.
Yes, we did. And we'll have more
Plants,
this year,
and
more
we'll have
different
more.
things. Yep.
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 We're going to have plants that are indigenous to our area, like
Absolutely.
cactus and sure,
come
walk
on,
right
you're
through.
gonna just
Oh,
come
look
right
what
through.
she just did.
Made her stop
7
like
million people just saw you do that. Right.
that. 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
2
right.
weeks on a
Right.
Sunday.
So anyway, Chris is a real treat, and even though it's March,
Right.
and who would have ever thought that we would be doing this now because of this crazy weather?
This weather, but we do have conversational snow today.
Yes, we do. And
For
you know
Joe.
what? It was cold
It was
this
wicked
morning.
cold this morning. It was 17 in my house.
And you know what? Those roosters, see all the roosters
Yep.
that we have? You know how cold it was this morning?
What, they had a cape on, right?
I looked out
heard
my
you
window
before.
and I saw a rooster walking by with a cape on, which
I heard
is
him
ridiculous.
Before, so
It was a little chilly in South America,
was.
but it wasn't that bad
It's-
here.
yeah. But
Right.
it's you know, this is the kind of weather we expect this time of year, but it is a good time to utilize your greenhouse. I've already
So
started.
this is like the coolest
Yeah,
thing.
it's awesome. It's totally awesome. I've started a few different things in here that I'm going to transplant very soon into some larger pots.
So tell me what we
Well, I
sell.
have-
So we sell this
Yes,
greenhouse.
we sell a greenhouse, and it's $119.99, which is an
For this
awesome
whole
price.
deal?
The whole deal.
With the
shelves,
frame, the whole
the
thing?
frame,
The
inside,
shelves?
the shelves,
For
everything.
$119?
Yep, yep, absolutely. It's awesome and easy to put together, easy to take apart.
Holy
it does
smokes.
hold a lot of weight.
This is
so
so
if you're
cool.
a serious gardener, or
Oh,
even if you're
Ellen, my
thinking-
wife is going to love this.
Yeah, they're awesome. I've started some things already, some vegetables and some things that can go out very early when the weather's
Yep.
still cool.
Yep.
Like these are peas,
Yep.
which I'm going to transplant actually into some whiskey barrels right outside. So
Yep.
and with teepees, and they're perfect for growing in this kind of weather, cold weather.
Peas are?
Peas, yeah.
Yep.
Snap peas.
Snap peas?
Yep. And anything that's a cold crop, your lettuces, all that kind of stuff, you could get going now. I
Oh,
also
and in the
started-
cold, so that would be iceberg lettuce?
Iceberg, yep, yep. If you like that kind. So
Sorry.
he's just on today.
Sorry.
But yeah, I have some broccoli and I have some violas and I have some cosmos and we do have seeds for all of these things here. We have absolutely everything you would need for seed starting.
All right. So, you know what else I want to ask you?
Yes.
So we don't, it's coming in today, but
Yes.
by the time this is on air,
It'll be
be
here.
all.
Yes.
Is it time to start
It's-
doing the 4-step?
It is.
program?
It is. It's time for the 4-step program, and we are running an awesome special.
We have the Agway one is the best.
Agway one is the best.
Yep.
and
We have the Scots too.
Yep.
And we have an unbelievable deal in the Scott, but the Agway is really.
Agway's awesome because Agway has a at the register rebate. There's no paperwork to mail
Right.
in. The discounted price is given to you immediately.
Right.
So for the smaller program, which is the 5,000 step, you're
Yep.
paying $54.99 after all your rebates,
Yep.
which is the cost of 2 bags if you buy the stuff separately. So
Yep.
if you're even thinking about 1 and 2, get the whole thing for the 54 bucks because
Right. It's
it's a
crazy
great
not to.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
especially now you want to start,
So
raking up your
when would you
lawn.
do seriously?
Step one now. It
Now?
start about March 1st through April.
Depending on, right. And
depending
so
on
like
its
last year,
weather.
it started like in August.
Pretty close, yeah. Last year was the winter was a little longer,
Yeah.
so actually we didn't really start till later.
Middle of
in-
April. It was
yeah,
the middle of
late-
April.
Yeah, we started talking about it in late March and
Yeah.
April before people started really utilizing it. But the way the weather is now and the way the weather
know.
is expecting to be,
I know.
the
February.
the soil's soft enough now where you can rake up the thatch and you can
Yep.
start getting down the weed preventer and the step one, which will kill the crabgrass as well as fertilize your soil for your lawn to grow.
So an
with.
average, stupid question, but an
No,
average house is like a 5,000 square foot one,
Yeah,
the small
most
one?
people have a smaller size house.
Yeah.
People, but do measure so you get the
Yep.
right size for what your needs for your yard are.
Yep.
And even the larger one is a great price at 135 bucks.
Well, you need a
for-
big yard for that.
Yes, you do
right.
have to have a big yard. But there's people who do.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Joe's
no,
over
right.
there
We
waving
sell
at us,
as many large
as we do the small.
as we do the
So,
small. Yep.
But it's a great deal, and like I said, the rebate is
Instant.
immediate.
It is on the Scots
instant.
this year too. It's instant.
On the
Right,
paper.
both of them,
yep,
right there. So there's
right
no
there at the
paperwork.
register,
Right. They finally
and,
smartened up and
yeah,
said,
so it saves the
customers don't
consumer
want
a
it.
whole
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
headache
yeah.
having
Yep.
to do that and worry about
Yep.
am I going to get it?
Yep.
Did I send it?
So I
blah,
know
blah,
you
blah.
have.
Yep.
We're going to move over. You have
Yep.
some other kind of cool.
Yep. Those
cool
are
s-
seed starting trays.
Yeah.
And,
So this all goes with all this stuff
Yep.
that goes.
Yep. And let me just scooch by you here. I want to show you
Now,
something.
does Northampton have these as well?
Yes, he does also. My soil
Yeah,
is
this
gone.
is
Oh, here it is.
right. She's got. I
Yeah.
mean this.
This
So
is,
folks, this is funny because who would have ever thought the weather's like this? But our store, Agawam in Northampton, just has all kinds of the neatest stuff.
For Agway, and not only
Yeah, for
you
lawn
know,
and gardens, right?
decorative things to
Yeah.
once you get your beautiful plants in and your garden going and you want to decorate your yard, we have a lot of different accessories, pots,
Yeah.
garden pots,
Very
patio
cool.
pots,
And all the seeds and all.
seeds, and just decorative
don't need
items that
garden.
you're not going to find anyplace else. Things that are different and unique
Yeah.
that are available here. And
So what
I'm
were you
happy
just
to
gonna
help.
show?
Oh, I was
Something?
going to show you the special. We
I'll-
have the
I'll hold
potting
it.
soil.
Is
which
this a special potting
it
soil?
is. It is a special soil. The texture of it is very light, and it's very friable, which means it's easy to work through. So the plants, as the seeds are germinating, it's easier for the seed to germinate and get the nutrients it needs in the soil. It makes it more available to the roots of the plant because it's easier for the plant to
I knew that.
to work its way through and start its growth.
Is
in
this good for indoor plants and outdoor plants, or does it matter?
It's mostly for outdoor plants for seed starting, because once the seed germinates in this soil, it's only going to be a small amount of soil, no matter what kind of unit you use to start your seeds. So when you transplant it, there's another kind of soil that you want to put it in, so it gets more nutrients and more vitamins, and it's a little sturdier. If I was to open that, you would see it was very light.
Yeah, fluffy.
Fluffy, yeah, and it gets a little heavier as the plant gets
Yep.
a little sturdier because it has more nutrients in the soil, and the plant, because it's getting bigger, needs more weight to hold itself into the ground. So, you don't want to, you want to give your plants a good start, and
Yes.
the soil is exactly where you have to start.
Okay.
So you have a healthy plant.
Okay.
And we do have all kinds of soil for all different
Right.
things.
Right.
The seed starter, you could, like if you were gonna, yeah, in your what? See,
What did-
you're
what did
learning.
he say?
He called it dirt. And what do I
Dirt?
always tell you?
It's not dirt.
Dirt's what?
Pay attention.
Dirt's what's in your vacuum. Soil.
Soil.
Dirt's what's in your vacuum. Right? You don't want to plant your plants in dirt.
No.
Dirt's what's in your vacuum.
No,
After you
I
vacuum-
always have said that
Yes,
since I was
it's-
this tall.
That's me too.
Yeah,
it's-
soil.
See?
It's
Dave
not,
and I are
not-
on the same page.
It's not dirt, right?
It's soil. So, and
Right.
then for people who don't want to use
This is coming from the guy who thought the four-step program was, the first step is you understand that your lawn has a problem. The second step is you go somewhere to talk to them.
to
and
a lawn
to-
therapist.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's my idea of the four-step program.
Okay, I got to open this and show you this. This is
Open
totally
it in
cool.
a jiffy.
It in a jiffy. Okay, so these That's a little compressed pellet of
Oh,
soil.
I thought it was going to be like I sinned.
Therefore I am. So you soak these in water, and this
Yeah.
is great for the kids, and they poof up. I actually have some in there. Let me show you what it looks like when it's done like this,
Is it like a fizzy or something that you can?
like this. And then you plant your seed right in the middle, and then that whole thing can go right in the ground, and this will disintegrate, so you don't have to disturb the roots of the plant.
All right, run this by me again.
Okay, so this, when you soak this in water,
There's nothing in this now.
this is the soil.
This is just the soil.
the soil.
Not
and-
dirt,
It's
soil.
soil. And you soak this in water, and it gets bigger like
Bigger,
that.
yep.
And it actually takes quite a bit of water.
Yep.
And then there's a little hole in the
Yeah, I see
center
that,
of this,
yep.
and that's where your seed's gonna go.
Yep.
So you put your seed in there, and then there's little trays you can put these in. You could put one in each cup of the one you show.
How cool.
And then you. What?
How many seeds do you have to plant in there?
Well, there's a I usually put a couple in case some don't germinate, because you want to be sure.
And what
then
is this?
That's a zinnia.
Oh, very
It's
cool.
going to be a zinnia. So when you and once the seed germinates, this whole unit can go right into the ground, and you won't be disturbing the roots when you try to transplant it, which sometimes
'Cause
stresses
this
the
just
plant.
comes right?
It goes right in the ground.
Yeah.
And then it disintegrates, and the plant is off to a great start.
Who invented this?
These are awesome. I remember as a kid going with my dad to an Agway, and they had big bins of them, and we would buy them by the
Really?
handfuls. Yep. But
Wow.
yeah, it's really cool. See, they just set them right in
Yeah.
the pots. and-
Yeah. And
Yeah.
this goes right in.
Yep, and we have little windowsill planters that
Yep.
you can get the whole, you could do the whole thing on your window.
Oh,
It's
how
got a little
cool.
tot. It comes with the pellets.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool. It's a great thing for kids or people who are stuck in the house and,
Or people who live in apartments.
or apartments. Yep, you can start all your stuff inside
Yeah.
and be good to go. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Very cool.
But-
and
and we-
Northampton has all this.
Northampton has all of this and
Yep.
probably more.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay,
so
great.
Definitely.
All right. Well, don't go away, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. So, folks, this is so exciting. It's interesting how the pet food business is changing according to consumers' desires. The latest trend in cat food is our cans. Let me collect my thoughts here. Cat owners are buying more canned cat food for the cats because finally everyone from their veterinarians to everybody are telling them how much better canned cat is. But now we're starting to get in all kinds of different pouches of cat food. So this is interesting. Millennials do not like cans according to all the consumer studies. Millennials would prefer the pouches because they are environmentally friendlier. They certainly are more convenient, right? There's less waste. They're recyclable. So I think that, one man's opinion, as the next few years go on, you're going to see more and more cat foods and I think dog foods. But cat foods are easier because cats eat smaller amount. So it's hard to get a 13-ounce dog food in a pouch, but it's pretty easy to get. These guys are, I think, 3 ounces. Yeah, a 3-ounce, which is typically what a cat will eat. What'd your cat used to eat, Joe? Like 8 pounds at a time or something? You got a mountain lion.
He had, 3 ounces at it.
Now, 3 ounces twice a day. Right. So it's perfect. So there's no waste. And I think that's why Fancy Feast really took off because it's 3 ounces. So all the different brands, and soon Dave's will also have pouches. All these different brands will have pouches. So we have them now. They're fabulous. We're selling tons of them. So let me tell you the big deal. I got to figure out a place to put this. The big deal is Dave's now has a new line of stews called Stewlicious. Our very clever marketing team thought that up. Actually, they were on strike, so I came up with the name. And there will be 10 flavors. We have 7 of them in stock now. By the time you see this, we'll have 8 of them. 7 of them are grain-free, and we've got some great ones. This is turducken, which turducken, do you know what turducken is, Joe?
Turkey, chicken,
And duck, correct. So these are all yummy, yummy stews. There's turducken, there's a fisherman stew, there's a gobbledygook. Guess what that is, Joe? I should have Matt do that. He would probably say like squirrel or something, you know. Right. Gobbledygook, we've got hearty beef stew, there's turkey sweet potato, all different great. So I want to open these up. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to give you the smell test. So my wife hates canned food. She hates the smell of it, as do many people. So, all kidding aside, smell that.
smells pretty good.
Right? It's people food.
Yeah.
So I want you to look at the chunks in this, folks. I'm just so proud of this. It took us about 6 months for the folks who do the formulations to get the formulations exactly the way they want them. And so here's a sort of a funny story. One of the largest of the super premium pet food companies went to the manufacturer that I use and said, we want you to develop some really high-end stews for us. So the manufacturer did all the research, came up with the formulas, and then the very large pet food company decided not to do business with them because evidently they could get something cheaper. So they said, Dave, we have these super premium formulas. Do you want them? I said, where do I sign? Right, sign me up. So we have them. I'm telling you, if you have a finicky dog, it's just beyond. So let me just read you the ingredients. Okay, you ready? This one is turkey, turkey broth, duck, chicken, vegetable broth, diced egg product, natural flavor, potatoes, carrots, peas, agar-agar, which you probably have never heard of. Agar-agar, oh, we got to wrap it up. Agar-agar, I think, is the new wave of how people will hold pet food together. Very safe. You're going to love these. They're on sale. I'm just so proud of this. So, and Joe says we have to go. So, good night, everybody. No, good morning. We're on in the morning.